Hello and welcome. Today, we are going to recap a touching and mysterious drama from 2014, Moon and Sun. Let's begin. The movie begins on a dark, quiet night. We see an older woman sitting alone in her house. She is writing a letter. It seems to be a farewell letter, filled with emotion. After she finishes writing, she seals the envelope and walks outside into the cool night air. She goes to a nearby mailbox and drops the letter inside. However, she is not alone. Parked nearby, hidden in the shadows, is a car. A person inside the car is watching her every move. The woman, unaware of the danger, turns around and starts walking back to her house. Suddenly, the car's engine roars to life. The driver slams on the gas pedal and speeds toward her. Before she can react, the car hits her violently. The woman falls to the ground, lifeless. The car speeds away into the night, leaving her body on the road. A few days later, at a funeral, the woman's daughter, Cecilia, is saying goodbye to her mother. She reads aloud from the final letter her mother left behind, sharing her mother's last words with the friends and family who have gathered. Following her mother's last wish, Cecilia takes her mother's ashes and throws them into the wind. But as she does, the wind suddenly changes direction. Instead of carrying the ashes away, it blows them right back onto Cecilia. She is covered in a fine layer of gray dust. The funeral ends. It starts to rain, the water mixing with Cecilia's tears and washing away the ashes. The guests come up to her, offering their condolences and giving her small gifts to comfort her. The next morning, Cecilia wakes up. She goes to the bathroom to wash her face. As she looks in the mirror, she sees that some of the ash is still stuck in her hair and on her skin. Seeing this physical reminder of her mother makes her cry again. She washes it off, preparing herself for the day. Cecilia has a unique job. She has taken over her mother's business as a fortune teller and clairvoyant, someone who can see the future. She puts on her mystical clothes, sets up her room with candles and crystals, and gets ready to welcome her first clients of the day. While her clients wait in the living room, Cecilia goes into the back to get her props. She wants to look like a real psychic. She comes back out and tells the group that she can only read their fortunes one by one. She asks one person to wait outside and invites the first client into her reading room. The truth is, Cecilia is not a real psychic. She doesn't know anything about the future or magic. But this is her job, and it pays well. She is very good at reading people, not minds. She tells her clients exactly what they want to hear. She uses vague sentences that could apply to anyone. She picks up a glass ball, which is actually just a cheap Christmas decoration, tells her client it is a magic orb. She asks the client to hold it. She tells them that the ball is absorbing all their dark energy, and that they are now free from it, to make sure they come back and pay her again. She uses a clever marketing strategy. She tells them, if you find yourself getting lost, you may need another cleansing. The client, completely fooled by her confidence and charm, believes every word. They leave happy, and Cecilia adds their money to her stash later. Cecilia takes a break. Her best friend, Felicia, is there. Felicia is counting the money Cecilia made in just half a night. It is 3 times more than Felicia makes in a whole night at her job. Felicia is impressed by how easily Cecilia makes money. As they are talking, there is a knock at the door. It is late, and the service is closed. Cecilia opens the door and asks, "May I help you?" Standing outside is a young girl. She looks tired and lost. She introduces herself as Lori. Lori explains that her mother sent her a letter a week ago, telling her to come here. Cecilia assumes this is the daughter of one of her clients. She says, "Oh honey, I'm sorry, we are closed." But Lori insists. She asks to come inside. Cecilia, feeling a bit sorry for her, lets her in. She asks Lori where she came from and about the letter she is holding. Lori tells her where she traveled from, but she stays silent about the letter. She doesn't show it to Cecilia. Cecilia becomes suspicious. She thinks Lori might be a homeless runaway, trying to trick her into giving her a place to stay. She asks, "Are you just looking for a place to stay tonight?" Cecilia tells her she can sleep in the basement for tonight, and in the morning she will help Lori find her mother. After hearing this, Lori does something strange. She looks up at the light bulb on the ceiling, then stares at the wall. She looks terrified, as if she realizes something. Without saying a word, she runs into the bathroom and locks the door. Cecilia thinks Lori is just a strange girl, but Felicia is worried. She asks Cecilia, "You're going to let that stay here?" Cecilia sighs. She has already said yes, so she can't kick the girl out now. She lets Lori stay in the basement. Later, when they are alone, Felicia warns Cecilia again. She says, "Lori acts like a scammer, someone who takes advantage of people." But Cecilia is thinking about something else. She tells Felicia that when she was a child, she used to have dreams about having a sister. Felicia suggests a test. She tells Cecilia to take Lori out in public tomorrow. If people in the town recognize Lori, then they will know if she is telling the truth or if she is a stranger. The next morning, Lori wakes up. She acts as if she doesn't remember anything from the day before. She looks at Cecilia and asks, "Who are you?" Cecilia is confused. She asks, "Honey, do you know where you are?" Only then does Lori seem to remember that she is in New York. She eats breakfast quietly. After eating, Lori washes her plate with her bare hands, without soap or a sponge. Then she goes to the closet. She asks Cecilia if she can wear some of Cecilia's mother's old clothes. Cecilia feels weird about this, but agrees. She wonders to herself, "What am I doing?" While Lori is getting dressed, Cecilia goes into her mother's bedroom. She looks through her mother's things. In a drawer under the vanity table, she finds some cash and a set of keys she has never seen before. She puts them back. When she comes out, she sees Lori wearing her mother's clothes. The clothes are old and don't fit well. Cecilia feels pity for the girl, who clearly has nothing of her own. She decides to take Lori shopping at the clothing store. Lori acts strange. She doesn't seem to know how to shop. Cecilia asks, "Have you ever been shopping before?" Lori replies softly, "We usually just got donations." Hearing this, Cecilia feels even more sorry for her. She buys Lori whatever clothes she wants. On the walk home, Cecilia explains her job to Lori. She admits that her psychic business is mostly a scam to make money. Lori listens quietly. That night, Felicia comes over. She sees Lori in her new clothes and is surprised. Cecilia tells her she bought them for Lori. Felicia pulls Cecilia outside to talk. "I can't believe you bought clothes for a stranger," Felicia says. She is worried that Cecilia is being too nice and will get hurt. But Cecilia says she trusts Lori. While they are arguing outside, Lori is back inside the house. She sneaks into Cecilia's mother's room. She opens the vanity drawer, looking for something. She hears a noise, someone entering the house. She thinks it is Cecilia returning, so she quickly puts everything back and prepares an excuse. But when she opens the bedroom door, it is not Cecilia. It is a man, a burglar. He has broken in. The window is open, and he is holding a stack of papers he has stolen. He sees Lori and lunges at her with a knife. Lori reacts instantly. She grabs the blade of the knife with her bare hand to stop him. The burglar, shocked by her resistance and fearing he will be caught, pulls away and runs out the window. The police arrive at the house. They are questioning Cecilia and Felicia. Since they were outside, they can only tell the police what happened before the break-in. The officer then turns to Lori, the only witness. He asks her to describe the man's face, but Lori refuses to answer. She just says, "It's not worth it." The officer is frustrated. He asks Cecilia about the stolen papers. Cecilia explains that the papers contained fake lottery numbers. She says, "My mom would make up those numbers for lottery tickets. She would call them lucky numbers and give them to clients." The officer asks, "What kind of business are you running here?" Cecilia points to her sign on the wall. The officer realizes it's a fortune-telling shop and leaves, not taking the case very seriously. After the police leave, Lori does something amazing. She picks up a glove that the burglar dropped. She closes her eyes and focuses. Suddenly, she describes the burglar's face and age in perfect detail. She mimics his movements. Then, she walks into Cecilia's mother's room. She touches a piece of clothing on the bed and whispers a phrase. It is a phrase that Cecilia's mother used to say, a phrase only Cecilia knew. Cecilia is shocked. She realizes Lori has a real gift. She hugs Lori, overcome with emotion. Cecilia and Felicia decide to help Lori. Felicia gets Lori a job at the hotel where she works, which is owned by her uncle, George. The next morning, Felicia takes Lori to the hotel and shows her how to do the housekeeping work. Meanwhile, Cecilia is back at home. She goes into her mother's room again. She looks under the clothes rack and finds a hidden box. She opens it. Inside, she finds letters she wrote when she was a child. She smiles, then she finds her mother's diaries. She reads through them. She finds a rejection letter from a publishing company, saying they would not publish her mother's book. Just then, the doorbell rings. It is a police officer named Adam. He was at the house yesterday for the break-in. He starts asking Cecilia if she is okay, acting very concerned. He is clearly flirting with her. Cecilia realizes this and gets annoyed. She asks, "Are you asking me out? I thought you were trying to help me find the men who killed my mom." And then she kicks him out. At the hotel, Felicia is impressed by how hard Lori works. But when they get to room 36, Lori stops. She tells Felicia she senses something bad inside and says they should call the police. Felicia takes Lori to her Uncle George's office. George is angry. He doesn't want the police at his hotel. It's bad for business. Felicia defends Lori, saying she will pay for any trouble from her own salary. George agrees, but tells Felicia to go back to work. Before she leaves, Lori grabs Felicia's arm. She tells Felicia to ask her uncle to check room 36 himself. That night, Felicia tells Cecilia what happened at the hotel. Felicia is amazed about Lori's stuff. She tells Cecilia, if she's right, we might have something here. Just then, a desperate client knocks on the door. Cecilia tries to send him away, saying they are closed. But the man begs for a crystal cleansing because he just broke up with his girlfriend. He offers $200. Felicia tells Cecilia to take the money. Lori asks if she can try to do the reading. Cecilia agrees. Lori sits next to the client. She puts her hand on his knee. She closes her eyes and enters his mind. She repeats the exact words the man said to his girlfriend. The client is amazed. Lori then tells him the root of his problem and advises him that his girlfriend would be happier living in San Francisco. She tells him to leave. The man, stunned by her accuracy, leaves without a word. Felicia sees a huge opportunity. She realizes they can make a lot of money using Lori's real powers. She suggests they work together to write books and sell them. Cecilia is hesitant. Felicia pushes her, saying that Cecilia's mother wasn't even a real psychic like Lori. This makes Cecilia angry. She shouts, "My mom has been dead for barely a week, and we just slow the fuck down." The next day at the hotel, Uncle George tells Felicia and Lori that Lori was right. The man in room 306 was a criminal. He asks Lori how she knew. He warns them not to tell the police to avoid scandal. Later, Lori is cleaning a room. She takes out the burglar's glove again. She touches it and has a vision. She sees the burglar's past. He was an accountant at a company. His boss was yelling at him for making mistakes. The man was angry and desperate for money. Lori realizes this is why he decided to kill Cecilia's mother, to steal her money. At the same time, Felicia brings a woman to see Lori. The woman pays $40. She gives Lori a piece of her ex-husband's clothing. Lori holds it and tells the woman everything about him. One day, Cecilia is sitting on a park bench. Officer Adam finds her. He apologizes for his behavior earlier. He asks if he can sit with her. She says she is hungry, so they go to a lunch. While eating, Cecilia asks him about her mother's murder case. She expresses her frustration that the police haven't found the killer. They talk and start to connect. After eating, they go to a church together. After the service, they leave. But inside the church, there is another man. It is James Reynolds, the burglar who broke into Cecilia's house. He waits until everyone is gone, and then approaches the priest. James confesses that he feels guilty. He asks, "Is it possible for God to be silent because he is done with you?" He tells the priest his story. He says, "I had someone trying to help me with my life, and she just stuffed and go away, and she said they were going too." He admits that he got angry when the woman Cecilia's mother stopped helping him. He asks the priest for help. In the next scene, Felicia is fascinated by Laurie's power. She asks Laurie to teach her how to be psychic. Laurie tries, but it's not something that can be taught. Felicia pretends to have visions, just guessing random things. Cecilia comes in and sees this. She is suspicious of Laurie. She thinks Laurie is conning Felicia. She accuses Laurie of plotting with a young man who hangs around the house to steal from them. Laurie defends herself. She reveals the truth she saw in her vision, and she said to Cecilia that the man who killed her mother and broke into her house is James Reynolds. He was one of her mother's clients. Cecilia is shocked. Felicia tells her to call the police. Cecilia calls Officer Adam. She gives him the name and the address of where James works. Adam promises to investigate, even though they don't have solid proof yet. The next day, Felicia gets a phone call. It is the woman who paid $40 for the reading about her ex-husband. The woman is angry and wants her money back because the information was wrong. Felicia realizes Laurie might not be right about everything. She asks Cecilia to go get Laurie. Cecilia goes to the basement, but Laurie is gone. She has run away. Cecilia finds the box of her mother's books and brings it upstairs. She shows the books to Felicia. She explains that her mother wrote mystery novels. The main character in the books is a girl from upstate New York who is a psychic solving mysteries and stuff. Cecilia explains that her mother sent these stories to a publisher, but they were rejected. Felicia realizes the truth. Laurie must have read these unpublished manuscripts. She was just acting out the character from the books. She wasn't a psychic. She was just a very good actress who memorized the details from the diaries and stories. Felicia is devastated. She quit her job at the hotel to start this business, and now she realizes it was all a lie. She asks Cecilia what to do. Cecilia tells her to go back to her uncle and ask for her job back. Now Felicia feels depression, and she has no choice because she has kids. Meanwhile, Officer Adam goes to question James Reynolds. He asks him if he killed Cecilia's mother. James lies and denies everything. Adam, without physical evidence, can't arrest him and has to leave. In the final scene, Cecilia is alone in her house. She is thinking about how her fake psychic business almost ruined her best friend's life. She decides to stop lying. She takes a hammer and smashes her crystal ball, her sign, and all her fortune-telling props. As she is cleaning up the broken glass, she looks under the sofa. She finds a metal box. She opens it. Inside, she finds the letter Laurie was holding when she first arrived. She reads it. The letter is from her mother. It reveals the biggest secret of all. Laurie is Cecilia's biological sister. Her mother had hidden Laurie's existence from her for her entire life. Cecilia realizes that Laurie didn't come for money or to scam her. She came because she wanted to find her family. Cecilia rushes out of the house. She drives into the woods, searching for Laurie. She finds her sitting alone. Cecilia walks up to her. They look at each other, not as strangers or business partners, but as sisters. They embrace. Cecilia finally understands everything, and the two sisters are reunited at last. The movie ends with them together, ready to start a new life as family. Thank you for watching this recap. We will continue to bring you amazing stories like this, so please like and subscribe to support the channel.